Hello everyone, welcome back to Power Within Psychology YouTube channel. I hope you all are doing great. As you all know, we are coming up with a series that is called Diploma Diaries. In Diploma Diaries, we focus on different diplomas in psychology, be it from counseling field, be it from clinical field, be it from organizational field. We also we also have this live session with a resource person who has a proper knowledge of about the syllabus of that particular stream, as well as the scope, eligibility, and different criterias. In today's session, we have Ms. Ankruti Pandey with us. First of all, we would like the whole Power Within community would like to thank you, ma'am, for accepting our invitation to come live. And I'm damn sure that everyone here will be enlightened by your knowledge. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to introduce more about Ankruti, ma'am, first to our audience. Ankruti ma'am has been curious about human mind and behavior from a very young age and started learning psychology. She started her journey with a graduation in psychology from IGNU while working in a corporate sector for approx 4 years, wherein she leaned towards human resources. She went to pursuing masters in industrial and organizational psychology with adding to postgraduate diploma in human resource management for holistic learning. She is an international affiliate member uh, at Psychological Association as well as certified as NLP Master Practitioner. She is currently a researcher as well as working as an IO psychologist. Her evaluation approach is based on gaining practical answers and solutions to the concerns with respect to employee well-being and organizational health. So thank you so much, Anukriti ma'am, for joining us. I would like to tell you that the whole platform is yours now. You can also tell us more about yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikshi. You explained and introduced me so beautifully that I cannot add it more. But yes, the only thing I would like to say that I'm one person who's very passionate about IO psychology, because that's where I began my journey with before I got into understanding that what field I should go for and I should not go for. I got through before, like I got through major live understanding through understanding life of corporates, and then I was like, oh, I have to go through IO psychology. And the major topic which we have to discuss about diploma, so I would like plunge into that to make sure that we talk about it as much as possible and give you a better view that how does it look rather than IO psychology, because this diploma is in human resource management. And when we talk about any IO psychology student or any person who is looking to make their career in IO psychology, their first question comes in their mind is, how is IO psychology different from human resource management? So that was my question as well when I was a student and I started my journey, that which field to choose. Shall I go for clinical or counseling? Because no matter what, I can enter the corporates in that way also. Should I go for IO? But IO is not well established in India, and if you have to go for abroad, it costs a lot to go for abroad. Not only these thing that you have to do your publications and you have to be valid, eligible to get into a abroad university, but the money factor is also, the financial cost is a lot to go ahead. So these were the questions which I had in my mind when I was pursuing was looking to pursue IO psychology, because the college I was in, they were doing a first year was general and a second year you get into a specialization. That's how they used to have as a degree of masters in psychology. uh, then I came across this distance education of an MMS, and I was, so before this, like when I was taking admission to this, I had my graduation in IGNOU and I also had approximately 5 years working experience. But where I had a good 5 years with, starting with an associate with production team and then to go ahead with HR team. That's how was my journey in 5 years working experience. So they asked my working experience, what is your working experience? Are you working right now? So I said that, and that time I had like a little fling of let me start my own accessory shop. So I had an online accessory shop which was working at that point of time. So I gave them that ID and everything, that this is what I'm undergoing on process, that I'm a small business person who has accessory shop and kind of those things. And I also told them that I'm also pursuing masters in psychology, because I have a question, how is psychology and management different, and I want to taste both the worlds. So let's have no risk only, let's have taste of both the worlds. They were very supportive, During this time I was also checking on different colleges also, which I'll not name the colleges right here, but there are many colleges, which offer distance education, PUDHRM. The reason why I chose Nasimunji was Nasimunji is already a very renowned name when it comes to regular studies. So when I check the distance education also, they make sure about their alumni. Like I'm still their alumni, and trust me, I still get their any webinars mails. Like I passed out in 2018. We are sitting in 2021, and I still get whatever they go for. Like any webinars, I still get their mails, and they actually align webinars for their own alumni for free, no cost at all. So they make sure that alumni is always upgrading their skills, always upgrading their tools. When I went through the admission process, everything was done. So the education part, when they begin, so usually what happens with the distance education, you feel okay, books will come and you just have to read by your own and everything will be done. But here every Saturday and Sunday you would have to sit for 6 hours to study. With Narsi Munji, you need to make sure that you attend your classes, and they would have every semester exams, and with every semester you have to pass it at least 50% marks. If you're coming anyway by less than 50, you are failed. So there was no SC criteria as 35-40%. You have to have minimum 50, no matter you're doing distance education. They were very very clear about to maintain the quality, no matter it is a regular or distance. Their way of education, their way of sharing the notes, like their books, I still have it with me. I don't have any IGNU books with me, but talking about NIMS books, every each book with every semester, I still have it. I still go for referring to them whenever I face okay what I should go with, giving assignments to students, or if I'm looking to refer anything about which has a management tool for teaching IO psychology or for training in IO psychology. I can always refer NIMS books. They have explained it very well there. Like as I share, I'm a 2018 alumni. You know their platform is still active with me. So whatever they shared as presentations, whatever they have as webinars, they have their own alumni groups where they are actually posting, you know they look for placement opportunities. So it's not that if you have done your distance education for NMIMS, you do not have any opportunities. They've created different platform altogether for alumni who are actually done distance education from NMMS, so that one can grow from another. So if I'm an NMMS alumni and I'm looking for a any other HR manager, I can actually put in there and I can get one person from NIMS itself. So they have created that platform where they share, like it's a small LinkedIn kind of a thing. So everyone has a LinkedIn idea, so they would be able to relate to it. It's like a small LinkedIn kind of a thing. And that actually does it very well. You actually feel that, yes, this is a place where you have invested money and you've got it back too. So yeah. Now I bring it back to you so that you can ask me questions.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Ma'am, that was a very detailed information, definitely. And like, as I'm also in a graduation right now, I'm pursuing graduation, and maybe there are many students who are in their graduation and post graduation. So we have this doubt sometimes that okay, we need a distance course, but we have this question too that will that distance course give that much of I would say satisfaction to our course that yes, we are pursuing a good course. So your whole as you explained, it was like very calming to us that yes, we can also look into our distance course like this. So thank you so much, ma'am, for letting us know about it. Ma'am, now I would like to know more about PG diploma in human resource management for a holistic learning. To be honest, this is something which is a very unique diploma because we hear diplomas in counseling, we hear diploma in clinical, they are very popular. This is something which is a little different. So definitely, I am too curious to know about it. So please let us first know about the syllabus criteria about it.
So talking about syllabus, only I would say only 40% connects to what you learn in psychology. 60% is completely different. That's why it is a management and it is not a part of IO. So when we talk about, and as I say 40%, I'll tell you how it is a 40%. One is organizational behavior. So whatever we learn in IO psychology as a student of IO psychology, that comes in their subject of, organizational behavior, placement, selection majorly. Next topic comes research methodology and statistics. So it's not that if you go to MBHR, you are not asked to do, not to make any treatise or do that thesis or dissertation or something. At a very, not at that level, what we do in a psychology level, but they are also asked to make a do a whole research kind of thing. So they have a basic idea of research methodology and statistics as well, like a good idea. I will not say basic, also have a good idea, but not yet grilling like what we are grilled as per as psychology students, that we have to make sure of the plagiarism and everything. Another thing which completely makes it different, which we as an IO psychology student I would not have got any idea about, is business economics. We do not have connect to business economics at all when we talk about a psychology student, but HR would have that. Okay. When we talk about marketing, when we talk about accountings, these are the subjects which you will be learn as when you're doing PG diploma in human resource, but you would not have a connect here. But you should have an idea when you're looking to connect with any corporates, because this all comes into HR positions. You would have to handle no matter what. You should have an idea about it. Then comes our corporate social responsibility, the CSR activities, which comes into a major influence which IO psychology can take good place in. But we do not connect to it. We do not have any idea that how does CSR activities take place. What is CSR is one thing which we do not connect with as a student. So these are the things which actually connects with HR. With that, when we talk about performance appraisals, when we talk about training and development, majorly performance appraisal and training and development services, we as an IO psychology would learn that how can you actually design modules as per human behavioral thought perception perspective. They would be more into organizational perspective. So when you actually understand both things together, you can actually get a good holistic view that covering both spaces all together, because it's like a half-half situation right now, that IO psychology is teaching the whole human perspective, that how does I can perceive, how does I think, how does I see it, how do I take that information, whether I'm taking it through visuals or taking it through I am have more auditory senses, depending on that. But how this organization can actually get a quick win from it, that also we should have an idea, because until we don't take both things together, we cannot bring any change with perspective to when we talk about employee well-being. If we really have to bring a change, we have to have the whole world area, that how does organization work, what are the different nitty-gritties of organization to bring the change into employee. That's what we focus on. So HR is very important to understand and learn if you're really looking forward to that. Yes.
Ma'am, thank you for explaining it to us. We also have two questions in our comment box. One is how can a psychology master student land in HR positions, although we study OB in graduation and post graduation?
Yes, you can certainly, you can go for start with, there are many organizations who are hiring, like in India only. I'm talking about abroad, I'm just talking about India with as perspective. There are many organizations who are hiring counselors. There are many organizations who are looking for HR associates and talent acquisition executive, research associate. Don't go for IO psychologist. Let's not go for a title. What we do is we go for a title. So when we go for the title, you will not land the position. If you go for the position, rather than checking on what is the title, check on what that title needs. What title needs is like what is the knowledge, skills and abilities required. Do you know how does how to actually do the selection and placement? Because if you have learned OB in graduation and post graduation, you have a basic idea already about it, right? So you can go for it that yes, I have the knowledge, I have the skills and I have the abilities to, because I'm very keen, I'm very enthusiastic to learn, I have a good communication skills, I have a good social skills. Your KSA is done. Then you can check on the KSA's knowledge, skills and abilities. Then you can check on, okay, what are the tasks, duties and responsibilities, do I connect with whatever I've learned as a student, and that will actually add up more skills to me. Start from there, start from very basic as HR position, and the most basic HR position starts with your recruitment selection, because with organization starts from there. Any organization starts from recruitment selection. They recruit new people and they select them, and that's how any startup grows. In the same way, you can enter in that way and you can actually grow. You can enter, you can show that this is my potential as an IO psychologist, this is how I can differ, because I'll bring more personality factors. I can make you understand different things. I can make you get you different selection techniques which will be more reliable and valid, and which will have less human biases. And that's how you can grow ahead. But getting in is like basic start with recruitment selection. those things. Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope Sana आपका question answer हो गया. Ma'am, we also have one more question that is from Ravi, and he is asking. He is a BBA graduate. I guess he is also looking for the eligibility criteria, and he is asking about IO psychologist scope. So, if you want, you would like to answer about the eligibility and scope of mainly about the PG diploma in general, and even a little bit about the masters in IO psychology.
Talking about masters in IO psychology, not every organization, like not every university, go for, like, any other. They go for BAs, but not BBAs or BComs very generally. But yes, there are many private institutions which does take masters in OB and masters in IO psychology. So it's not that you will not get any university. You can check on, with the universities, and you'll be able to get selected if you fare through, because nowadays every college, every university have their own entrance exams and interview. So they would check how are you keen to actually pursue psychology. So you need to have that, enthusiasm and energy, that yes, you really want to learn more about it, and you should have a basic idea. So for Ravi, if you're looking to have the basic idea, I would suggest go for NCRT books, 11th and 12th, and have a read about it. That will give you a basic idea before you go for masters. The second thing, IO psychologist, the scope of it, yes, there is a high scope of IO psychology, and we are doing very well. I am very, optimistic about it, because if I see, it's not like we all are in pandemic, and when we started the pandemic, anyone here can say that we had no idea that what IO psychology is. And today when we talk about IO psychology, there are every corporate institution is looking forward to actually hire one IO psychology or one psychologist in action. If I'm not talking about IO psychology, at least one psychologist in action. So there is a change coming, and let's hope we are creating a space so it will have a good, better space more. So yeah, there is a good scope.
थैंक यू मैम. आई होप रवि आपका भी क्वेश्चन आंसर हो गया. मैम, कैन यू लेट अस नो अबाउट एलिजिबिलिटी क्राइटेरिया ऑफ योर इंस्टीट्यूट itself, like how you applied for your PG diploma course?
Yeah. So as you know, everyone knows already that I've done from IGNU, like my graduation, because I was working at that point of time. So if you check IGNU certificates, no, so they would not have names of their subjects. They only have codes. And with codes, obviously, the NMMS people could not get it, that what are the papers and everything. So they asked me, they asked me for the experience first, because they wanted that I was a working professional. So I gave them the experience letter that this is what I have been working. And at that point of time, I've completed almost more than 4 years. So my 4.5 years were complete. I was already working at that point of time. So they do ask for working experience. Okay, then they asked me that are you still working, because they got to know that I have resigned. So I told them that I'm not working, but I'm, as I said, that I already started with my venture of, small business of accessories and everything. So I gave them that papers that this is active profile, and this is how I'm working on. So I'm working on, plus I'm also studying. I'm doing a regular masters that is already ongoing process, and this is the second which I'm doing distance, because you can do, as for UGC, you can do one regular, one distance together. So there is no issues with that. Okay, so that could be one question. So I'm already clearing that up, that it's no, you can do it together in masters, one regular, one distance. Okay, so that's how they come up. They did ask me for every detail, with perspective to my employee ID, how did everything change. I had to get every mail from my organization to them also to approve it. They had the contact details. They did the reference check, background checks everywhere. So background check is very tough with an MOS. So if you are, putting up any profile that yes, I'm working in this organization, or I'm interning in this organization from last 1 year or 1.5 year, make sure that they also, your organization has an idea about it. Because if you have applied it and if you've given them to an MMS, they will make sure they do a background check. They are very strong with background checks, because obviously, the reason is they have to maintain their quality. So they want to make sure whatever student comes in, they're actually looking to invest not only with the money but with the time, and whatever they learn through, they actually learn through with a good quality and quantity. So that's one thing. You have to make sure, like with NMMS, that is very sure if you're going for distance, that you have to have a working experience. You have to have, I think, more than 60 to 65%. So they do not go for 50, 55. You have to have more than 60% as a percentile to look for. Not very sure, but yes, because they asked me that check for the subjects what is the overall percentile, because IGNU doesn't write, they only write the grade. So IGNOU had that you are passed with A grade, nothing else. So they asked me what is the overall percentile of all the scores if you put up, and kind of those things. So that's one thing you need to make sure about. They ask too many questions. So getting in is not an easy job, because in the first attempt I also was said that we cannot go for it. But the person who was assisting me was very sweet. So she was like, okay, can you give me the subjects again and I'll see it. So I asked her what was the reason and everything. So you need to have a very patient, and you need to be on their back also sometimes. That can you tell me what is going on, kind of those things. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, ma'am. I guess we have covered the eligibility as well as the scope, and you have also let us know about the syllabus pattern. Ma'am, like now I would like to know your personal experience. As you said, like the confusion you had must, this confusion may be in many students who are into organizational behavior, that they want to understand that what is the difference between organizational behavior and human resource, and how can we try both things or learn more about it. So, as you have done masters in organizational psychology and you have done PG diploma in human resource management, so you have got the information from both the sides. So, how this helped you in your own personal and professional career? As we also know, you own altruist technology, if I'm right. So, if you can tell us more about it also, and more about your journey with masters and PG diploma both.
So talking, I was very lucky because where I was doing my masters and PhD diploma, their exams never got into same time. Okay, so my masters exam would finish like 1 month before I had to go for PhD diploma exams. So I had at least 1 month to go for preparation. There could
Ma'am,
be
where
times when
have you
you.
done your masters from?
I've done my masters from North Maharashtra University. It's
Okay.
in Jalgaon, Maharashtra, near
Okay, ma'am.
Aurangabad. Yeah. So masters was from there, and my NMMS was in Pune. So their branch was in Pune, so I had to go to Pune to give my exams all the times. Okay. So that was a difference. So could manage it beautifully. Like that was one thing, because usually if you go for like normal, if we talk about Delhi universities, the Delhi NCR private universities or the northern state universities, if we talk about their exams and MS exams will start fall in the same time. But with Maharashtrian universities, I was lucky. So Maharashtrian universities would have the same time. Like if you go for an MMS, you would get 1 month as a uh, at least to go prepare for exams. Talking about the experience was learning was very difficult, because no matter I when I started the journey, I was like I was psychology and HR would be like very similar now. We talk about they are very similar. OB, we need to study the OB, we need to study about perception. That's why I'm studying from 11th only. I had psychology in 11th, 12th, graduation, so it will not be a difficult situation. But when I actually started human resource management, the first semester I actually cried that why did I take this up? This is too much to learn and read, because the subjects which were given in the first semester, 80% did not coincide with anything related to psychology. It was all management. So understanding this, I tell this in a very personification way, that we think about the comparing IO psychology with HR management. Understand, when we talk about mother, a family in a place, so the mother is psychology here, the father is a management, the child is IO psychology. How can a child ever compete with a father? So no matter how much you want to, you will always be under the umbrella of your father, no matter how much you grow. Especially in an Indian culture, we believe that no matter how much we grow, we'll always be under the influence of a father. So the same goes with here too. No matter how much IO psychologies grow, it is a research based, it is applied science subject, it will grow. There's nothing stopping it. Okay. And it will add more to management only. Like when we do something great, our father is the one who gets it that yes, my daughter has done great or my son has done great. The same goes for IO psychology too. Everything adds up to management only later on. Oh, the IO psychology has done its job, but it will add up to management. So that's one thing which we have to really have to clear, that we can never compete with management. We can go along with it, because when you're learning IO psychology, as I shared, it will only have the perspective of human. Okay, so students who learn IO psychology, they will understand okay how human factors and different things related to human are being affected. How can you influence little things to get a better space for humans? but how organization is structured, how organization works, what are different parts of organization, that we do not get an idea about here. There are many things other than the social system. I understand that humans make the greatest part of any organization, undoubtedly, but there are many things which comes in organization, and there are many departments, many levels which comes in organization, not only HR. So you as an IO psychologist would have to handle every situation, everything. To understand that, you need to understand what part of organization works as what, how it is dealt with, what kind of communication it is, what kind of culture it is. And to understand, you have to have an idea about HR. So that's how these two things are very different. When I started learning, I was like, it would be very easy. It would be like a cakewalk, but it was not a cakewalk. I really struggled, at least for first one semester was like very tough. I actually flunked in business economics in my first semester, and I cleared it in my second semester. So I did give that substitute exam, and that's how I cleared my exam in the second semester. So it's not easy. Don't think human resource management studies are easy if you've done your if you have a good connect with psychology. I did it, and I actually had a tough time. So you have to really invest, no matter what diploma you go in management. If you're going with with perspective to psychology together, like you can, like, not just if you go for like consumer psychology is progressing nowadays. So if you're going for masters in consumer psychology, or certificate course in consumer psychology, and you're like, let me do PG diploma in marketing too, and you think both things are same, no, they are not. They are two different worlds. Yes, you can relate and create a more you know holistic view, which will have influence in a greater patterns. Because if these two connect, like IO psychology and HR connects, and if people understand that they have to work together and move ahead, we can beautify the world, beautify the corporate into another level. Trust me, into another level. But yeah, the struggle is still on. Let's hope we can get there.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I literally like the way you explained. So this was like a full pack of knowledge with like a storytelling kind of knowledge. So I was able to understand each and every concept very well. Thank you for answering all our questions. Questions from my sides are over now. We just have one more comment, but when I was reading this comment, it is more like it's like advice from your side, as we do in all our session, that what a last advice, a concluding advice you would love to give to the audience here. But I would love to read her his question too. So his question is that he is from BBA field, but he is too confused whether he should do MBA or like for HR, or go into masters in IO psychology. And he is also like in a, I would say, a confusion of which will be better for the scope and even for a career perspective. So I guess this is, like, as we all know, that this is a confusion for everyone. So just in a concluding way, if you would like to give an advice, a last advice to all our audience as well as me. So yeah, please go ahead.
So my advice would be, make sure that do whatever you love, because if you're passionate with your work, whether it be HR, whether it be IO psychology, whether it be any part of your life, okay, you'll be able to move ahead. Because the one thing we really have to understand, especially with our career, with our work, is right now being a psychology student. Think about, we talk about let's have passion, we should love our job, we should love our work. But if you're looking forward to that, that I want to choose a space where it can be easy way. There's no place in the world where there is an easy way. There's no place in the world. Like, talking about the way how we are born, how we have struggled to walk, how, like, talk start from your day one as a baby, the day one when your mother conceived it. So that has been all struggle, the how you grew up. How can you think that getting a job or getting somewhere as an perspective would be easy? No matter what field you choose, whether you choose HR, whether you choose IO psychology, whether you choose any field of psychology as of now, you cannot escape the struggle. The only way you can escape the struggle is that you are passionate enough to make sure that, okay, I might have less opportunity as of now, compared to my friend. I might have not be able to explore my skills and ability compared to my friend. Let me explore, let me check on how can I explore those things. Okay. And as per Ravi, you can go for like dual degrees, because there are many organizations right now who are giving dual degrees. I think that the Christ University is one of the ones who are giving, dual degrees, which has connect to both HR and IO psychology. There are many universities who are coming up with both things together. So, check on those things if you're looking for both fields as a holistic view, because that is coming up. So, yeah, people are lucky. The students who are coming now, yes, you are very lucky, because universities are investing to make sure that you get a holistic view. For me, it was that I had to learn more degrees and then understand, okay, how they connect together, and how can I bring it up to the plate, and serve it to corporate, that this is how you can explore and actually make sure that organization also gets a quick win, and employees also prosper as a well-being. But yes, the one thing is, please make sure that you are passionate with your field, and understand that if you really want to shine, you have to go through a lot of struggle, lot of pain, lot of things. You cannot escape it. Very simple way. First, the way you are growing up. The second is, just think of the example of diamond. How much pressure does it goes through? How much cleaning does it goes through before it shines in front of you? There's a lot of process. So if you really want to shine like a diamond, be ready for the pressure, struggle, pain, cries, and move on. Grow ahead.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Like I really don't have words to thank you enough, because it was a valuable session. It was an informative session. It was also an inspiring session. So thanks to you, and I hope I get a chance to work with you again, or to collaborate with you again in some way, and to get mentored by you again. So thank you so much for coming here. Thank you so much for enlightening everyone, and that's all that I can say. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shri. It was a pleasure. I'm really sorry that you had to hold me, and you had to really caught me that, yes, ma'am, are you ready to take it? And I was really delaying your messages. So really sorry for a delay, but yes, thank you for actually calling me and sharing, giving me that space, that so that I can share my ideas. That means a lot. Thank you, and thank you everyone who was watching. Thank you so much.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, everyone, too. Ma'am, with your permission, may I end this session?
Yes, please.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, ma'am, and thank you, everyone.